聊聊天啊，就是说，就是让他看人家照片，然后我们可以顺便欣赏一下照片，因为我也不知道，就是这也算是一个彩蛋吧，就是潍坊每次解完这个回忆的任务，这比较偏回忆的任务，这个回忆的任务可以得到什么照片？全都是什么？
Welcome back, boss.
是聊天，最开心的事情。
Oh, Snake!
还有照片啊，他能不能看到
What is it, Snake?
来给他看照片，我也想看一下是什么照片。
Oh, somebody took this while we were
钓鱼
fishing.
的时候拍。
That day, I figured out that it doesn't really matter if you catch a fish or not. Just waiting for a fish together can be the most fun of all. Oh yeah, Chico got all worked up and almost fell into the sea. When they do some more fishing, tell me, okay? I am so tired. I will just lie here a while.
照片，然后很奇怪，每次照片丢地上就消失了。出去再进来，应该照片应该会贴上去。稍等一下，怎么搞？角落装进来，可以，不能进去哦。可以，进不了家门的史奈克。开始休息，我们来看一下照片，钓鱼的照片。爬子超可爱，不过他们后面那一些，他们后面那个也蛮好笑。爬子穿这个制服真的蛮好
The
看的。
real me. I am.
这个比较属于英式的吧，就是比较偏向西装一点，比较正式一点的。然后后面那一些，他们的那个基地的队员，你看明明背着枪，还是没有，他那个不是枪，是手。在那边钓，这算是比较小。
Gallo Pinto.
OK， 好了，那我们来解下一个主线。搞好久。然后我们来解下一个主线，到底是什么主线呢？
Please landing zone.
Roger. This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequod. On station at LZ.
稍微剪得粗糙一点，可能会硬打这样子来讲。瞧一下火机，然后上厕所。
Please
现在
select
只
a
剩一
mission.
关，对，下一关是小小的叛乱者，属于回收叛离反政府民主被雷族的少年兵。啊，所以这个好像是。
Mission accepted. Heading to Central
好像是
Africa.
少年兵，少年兵我们不能杀，因为国际来讲就是应该说，就是说孩童不能杀了。简单讲就是，就这算是一种，算是联合国的公约吗？还是什么？就是好像不太能杀小孩。 那再加上其实欧美游戏他们基本上不太能有那种杀婴儿的情节，他们对这一类还蛮重视。
Your mission objectives are to extract the child soldiers' commander and their captive, the General's number 2. This child soldier platoon decided to break away from the Mbeli militants. They took the number 2 captive and have occupied an abandoned village. Start by checking that location on your map. Boss, child soldiers will treat you as an enemy, but they're just kids. See that they don't get hurt. That's the village the boy soldiers have taken over. It was deserted. Seems they're using it as their base of operations. The targets are there. Look carefully.
Be careful down there, boss.
Please select a deployment point. Analysis. The
That's the
map
General's
has been
brother. He's
updated.
number 2. Get him out of there, boss.
Marker placed.
Even a child can pull a trigger. They can be just as lethal as adults. That doesn't give you the right to be. If they spot you, either run and hide, or neutralize them through non-lethal means.
Marker placed. Marker placed.
小孩应该是可以叫直升机来的，里面还有一个。
Marker placed. Marker placed.
看一下附近有什么。很吵，房子里我觉得可能会有。
The worsening conflict robbed the villagers of the peace they once
Caution.
had.
Rain
They
approaching.
evacuated rather than risk living on a battlefield. The place became a ghost town. Nowadays, it's occupied on and off as an outpost by one or another of the factions.
为什么枪声？不对劲，枪声不太对劲。哎呦！下去就在电视前。
Another group of child soldiers? No, must be a squad they had out on patrol. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself.
我都没看到。哪里有没看到？两边有消防台要注意一下。
Boss, another child soldier has entered the village. Must have been out on patrol. Looks like they had more than one patrol out. Security will be tighter now. Watch yourself.
没看到。哎呦，没看到人。干嘛有两个？不是。瞧到一个。
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
好久前。
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
哇天，这个是 OK 的，然后把它打入袋。
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
太多了吧？然后我叫闭关的机也可以
Please select a landing zone.
在下面上面机，可以把人家带到人去。哎呦！只想要最后一个才能交，现在下。
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Support helicopter requested. Extraction arrived at mother base.
Arriving shortly at LZ. This is Pequot. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Once you're on that chopper, we'll have to abort the mission. Are you giving up?
他有在刚归。等他开门。
That's the target prisoner. He's injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper.
You have arrived at your destination.
General,
You have arrived at your destination.
Mosi, Tata ya Bankaka, Mona, Yelaka Mona, Rambu General Sabeda.
Please select a landing zone. Landing zone.
Roger.
Support helicopter requested.
Yambele,
Development project
Tata
is
Mosi,
being added.
Beto Nyoso, Kebampangi, Atampidina, Yaya Kintu, Yakuvutuka Diaka, Nimafe, Lenga, Kekio, Kamasa.
我骑车超会疯的，怎么用？哦，骑车我还会超。
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
所以禁言老师要当成全都带走。
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ.
That prisoner doesn't look like the target.
This is Pequod. Have arrived at LZ. Will stand by.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
不能丢上车哦。
Support helicopter has arrived.
这样我可以飞高空，然后飞走。
Okay, subject is in.
This is Pequod. There's an obstruction at the LZ preventing me from landing. Request immediate removal.
然后我就要逃回去。
Gaining altitude.
上面车子往回走，不小了。
Caution, rain approaching.
没收4个货柜，所以应该也会有货柜。其实你主线都打完之后再回来打，会把其他的小支线全部都显示出来。
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Development project has been added.
Mission complete, boss.
大孔章鱼赚，还不错，赚十几万。好，我们来看一下故事吧。其他作品有点像是那种电影或者影集的感觉，它那个就是每一集开始就有一些动画，然后每一集结束也会。
About how we report this one to the client. I'll tell them we took heavy resistance from the renegade platoon, and the hostage was killed in the firefight. Also, their leader wouldn't let himself be taken alive. I doubt the client will pay us for this one, but we got a big enough reward from the General's number 2 instead. And as for the number 2, he's saying he wants to join Diamond Dogs. I guess he knows what that means for him. He said, if I'm working for you, I can be number 2 or number 200 for all I care.
一建筑隔离平台那是什么东西呀、不知道为什么又有新的啊，我快晕倒啊！隔离平台
Boss, we have an emergency. Many of our staff are falling ill. At first it seemed like a common cold, but before we knew it, blisters started popping up on their chests and... Damn it. I'll fill you in at the ACC. Just get in the chopper.
Oh my god，怎么回事？需 水泡就像我之前那个嘛，就之前我碰到有那个病人，然后胸部都那个烂掉那种样子，就很像那个，它是水泡，那水泡就是烂烂的、啊。
Mission
Look
list
closely.
updated.
Those are the symptoms of the infection on Mother Base. The blisters on the body were full of tiny worms. Parasite larvae, most likely. But we couldn't find any adults. It doesn't seem to mature in the body, like a sparganum. We don't know the root of infection, or what causes symptoms to develop. Boss, do you remember seeing these symptoms before? The bodies floating around in the oil facility, the bedridden test subjects at the Devil's House. This epidemic looks just like what we've seen on our hunt for Cypher. So this is the weapon of mass destruction Cypher was working on in Africa. Boss, the situation is urgent. We need to quarantine the infected and contain the pathogen. Priority now is to prevent more casualties. But the problem is, how do we tell who's infected? During the incubation period, we have no way of knowing who's clean. You'll have to try and guess who's infected before they go symptomatic and quarantine them. That'd be easy if we just knew the route or vector of the infection. From now on, if you even suspect a staff member's infected, use your iDroid to order them into quarantine. Given the situation, the men won't submit to quarantine just because I or the medical team tell them to. But they will listen to you. Of course, it's just a temporary measure until we find a permanent solution. But at least they'd be in solitary isolation so they won't infect each other, and we get the mental care they need. If we do nothing, we'll only lose more people. We have no choice. Boss, open your iDroid. I'll explain how to quarantine staff members suspected of infection. Go to the Mother Base menu and select Staff Management. First, take a look at the quarantine facility we've set up. We'll isolate anyone who's already symptomatic at the quarantine facility. But we have to expect that there are multiple staff who are infected, but asymptomatic. So how do we identify them? At present, we have no way to tell them apart. But there has to be something for us to go on. If you notice anything, reassign staff you suspect are infected to the quarantine facility. We'll monitor them and then contact you if there's a change in their condition. Correctly quarantining these asymptomatic infected will reduce the number of new infections. You should continue with your missions as usual. If Cypher is behind this, going after them should help us determine the root cause of this epidemic. Also, until we identify the pathogen, we can't fire or dispatch any staff. We cannot let this thing spread. Boss, get to the bottom of this fast. We're counting on you.